folks. My name is Heather Weiss, and I'm the Applications Coordinator for MAGPI at the University of Pennsylvania. And on behalf of MAGPI and the National Constitution Center, we'd like to welcome you to the first ever virtual America Reads the Constitution. A couple of reminders before we get started. We have 43 schools connected today, everywhere from Maine to Florida to Texas, California, Washington State, Alaska, and everywhere in between. So because we have so many sites connected, it's very important that you keep your microphones muted unless your site is speaking. One more thing to remember, everybody, that you're talking to a lot of people today. Smile. Have a good time. There's no reason to be nervous. Everybody's in this together. So we have a couple people to thank before I actually introduce some folks from the National Constitution Center. The first being the university partners that provided technology support for this event. University of Chicago, Florida International University, the University of Maine, the Ohio State University, University of Scranton, and of course, the Internet 2 Common staff at Ohio State University. So with that, I'd actually like to introduce you to Jane from the National Constitution Center, who has a few words.
We at the National Constitution Center take this document very seriously. Our center, located at the heart of historic Philadelphia, is devoted to the history of the Constitution, which really is the history of our nation. It is a living history, meant to be shaped and molded by each generation of Americans. But sadly, too many young people are ignorant of this history and not acquainted with the tools of citizenship. You know, when the framers crafted this document 219 years ago, they knew it wasn't perfect. They knew that it would have to change with the times. That's why there are amendments, 27 of them now. And the framers knew that the republic they were creating would only last if Americans became active citizens. It is our duty to learn our history, to participate, to vote, to use the process we have to address flaws in the system and inequities that arise. Citizenship is work. It's not easy and it's not free, but it is very satisfying. That is why this gathering today is so inspiring. By reading this document aloud, you are making a statement for your generation. You are making the Constitution your own. Some of the language will seem odd to our modern ears, and some of the notions are thankfully outdated. But as you read and as you listen, I urge you to think about the grandeur of these ideas and the bravery of the men who wrote them. And think about how and why this document has become a model of governance and tolerance the world over. Thank you so much.
The times, places, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof, but the Congress may at any time by law make or alter such regulations except as to the places of choosing senators.
The Congress shall assemble at least once in every year, and such meeting shall be on the first Monday in December, unless they shall by law appoint a different day. The 20th Amendment, adopted in 1933, changed the date on which Congress convenes to January 3rd.
The senators and representatives shall receive a compensation for their services to be ascertained by the law and paid out of the Treasury of the United States.
For raising revenue shall originate in the House of Representatives, but the Senate may propose or concur with amendments as on other bills.
Every bill which shall have passed the House of Representatives and the Senate shall, before it becomes a law, be presented to the President of the United States. If he approve, he shall sign it, but if not, he shall return it.
With his objections to that House in which it shall have originated, who shall enter the objections at large on their journal and proceed to reconsider it.
If after such reconsideration, 2/3 of that House shall agree to pass the bill, it shall be sent, together with objections to the other House, by which it shall likewise be reconsidered. If approved by 2/3 of that House, it shall become law.
The Congress shall the power. The Congress shall have power.
Duties, imposts,
The Congress
and excises
shall have
to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. That all duties, imposts, and excises shall be uniform throughout the United States.
The Congress shall have power. The Congress shall have power.
To borrow money on the credit of the United States.
Power.
To borrow money on the credit
The Congress shall have power.
To borrow money.
To regulate commerce with foreign nations and among several states and with Indian tribes.
The Congress shall have power.
To establish an uniform rule of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcies throughout the United States.
The Congress shall have power.
To coin money, regulate the value thereof, and of foreign coin, and fix the standard of weights and measures.
The Congress shall have power.
To provide for the punishment of counterfeiting the securities and current coin of the United States.
The Congress shall have power.
To establish post offices
The
and
Congress
post
shall
roads.
have power. The Congress shall have power.
To promote the progress of science
The
and musical
Congress
arts
shall have
by securing
power.
for limited times to authors and
The
inventors the
Congress shall
exclusive
have
right
power.
to their respective writings and
The
discoveries.
Congress shall have power. The Congress shall have power.
The executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years, and together with the Vice President, chosen for the same term, be elected as follows.
Each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the whole number of senators and representatives to which the state may be entitled in the Congress. But no senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or profit under the United States shall be appointed an elector.
December 9, 1803. Ratified June 15, 1804. Note: a portion of Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution was superseded by the 12th Amendment. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for President and Vice President, one of whom, at least, shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves. They shall name in their ballots the person voted for as President, and in distinct ballots the person voted for as Vice President.
Ratified January 16, 1919, repealed by the 21st Amendment, December 5, 1933. Section 1. After 1 year from the ratification of this article, the manufacture, sale, or transportation of intoxicating liquors within the importation thereof into, or the exportation thereof from the United States, in all territories subject to the jurisdiction thereof for beverage purposes, is hereby prohibited. Section 2. The Congress and all the several states shall have concurrent power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. Section 3. This article shall be inoperative unless it shall have been ratified as an amendment to the Constitution by the legislatures of the several states as provided to the Constitution within 7 years from the date submission hereof the states by the Congress.
Amendment 19, passed by Congress June 4, 1919. Ratified by August 18, 1920, the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation.
Now what I'd actually love everybody to do is unmute your microphones and give yourselves a round of applause. You did a phenomenal job.